There's going to be a bit of a delay, and I'm just checking the computer to see if it is starting. There we are. I think we're live. I'm seeing something on the screen. That's good. Okay, well this is different. Haven't done this before. Hope it's visible. Is there audio? Let's see. Yes, there is. Bit of an echo, but that can't be helped. Well, welcome to the live broadcast. This is out of my comfort zone, as you can see. I've never actually set this up before. I have done live shows before, separate from the comic strip, but nothing quite like this. So this is an adventure for me to celebrate 10 years of the comic strip. Not since it's been available for the public, but since it was overall created. The idea came out in 2007. Well, isn't this something? Okay, I see. So you can see in the corner how I'm live to you. You can see my the logo of the company this is through. Alright, well, sponsorship maybe, I guess. I don't know if I can go for however long it takes me. I know some live shows, they limit you to 15 minutes. We'll see how far we can get. So happy Thanksgiving. I thought in celebration of 10 years and Thanksgiving, because I'm thankful for readers and fans of the comic and buyers of the books and the folks who have put it in newspapers and all of that stuff. I thought I'd do something special, do a live broadcast of a comic strip that's going to come out in the near future. I have a video that shows how I draw Tanner and Casey, or how you can make a comic strip. But that came out years ago. It's so dated and it is very cringeworthy. It is so hard to watch because I made it on 4 hours sleep. I had to get it done that night. It was terrible. So this is something different. So down here you can see I have my script written out down below the panels. I had this typed out, but I'm using the computer as a double checker on this video, and I'm using my phone to record it, so I had to write down. It's kind of screwed there. And comic strips are riddled with mistakes. As you can see, I've already made errors in the panel. And part of the reason is because the lighting, well, this doesn't have to do with it, but the lighting in here, I'm just saying, is very horrible. This ruler is a dollar store ruler because I misplaced my original one. I know where it is, but I can't get to it, I should say. And you can sort of see it's not straight, which is not great for a ruler. You'd want a straight ruler. This one you can kind of see it kind of bends. There's some chips here. It's only $1, so I mean, can't really complain. And it's got inches. I'm not used to that being Canadian, so it's a 4-panel, which is different compared to what I usually do, but it's a 4-panel gag. And it features Casey. Tanner's gonna pop up right here. You can sort of faintly see the lines, but it's mainly a Casey one, and I realized recently that, of course, Casey is a dog, but we don't see her doing very dog-like things, especially since 2014, early 2014. We used to have dog beds, and she used to walk on all fours. Now she's up on her hind legs and drinking coffee and whatnot. Garfield? So, I'm trying to reestablish the fact that she's a dog. I have not drawn in a long, long time. I drew a Farley character from a different comic strip, and that is it for quite a while, so I'm a little hazy, and I'm doing this on live video, so that's I didn't quite think that one through. My hands are naturally shaky, So that also doesn't help. So it's been a long time trying to give myself room for the dialogue here. Up like that. Just got a Facebook message. Alright, so we're getting places here. Oh! That's why we had the Lily Racer. It's not happy, not supposed to be happy, it's supposed to be shocked. It's just force of habit. I like to keep my characters happy. Man, I'm shaky today. Of course. Alright, well, we can sort of see that's Casey. There we go. Popping in from off panel. If this were a TV show, we'd say off camera. Usually, as a rule, comic strips try to avoid touching this line here, but limited space with this 4-panel setup. However, I think I'm going to bring her out and over a bit. So let's say to about here. Throwing Casey into the corner here is kind of screwing me up on the body. We need to bring her up some more to show the legs, because otherwise the stomach should come down here. This is how nitpicky I am on every single comic strip I draw and put out, either on Facebook, which this live broadcast is also on, or the website, or in books, or newspapers, or wherever you may be reading the comic strip. There's always a lot of mistakes, and there's always a lot of work that goes into every single one. This is why it takes so long to make a strip. There we go. I noticed lately I've been drawing bigger too. I almost think I should enlarge my panels. I don't know why I am drawing bigger now, but the funny thing is I do draw comic pages for books, but I usually can't even draw that big. So I need like a happy medium. We're getting there. Now, even though just because of the constraints of the panel and where I need to start drawing bigger panels, we're not going to be able to see the legs. We can still tell that she is on her hind legs. That's the little cheats you can get away with when you're drawing. You can still tell she's on her hind legs because she's upright. So we don't even need to see the legs. There, that's a better ear. There we go. Casey does have a stomach. I think we need to bring this completely out. I was so excited when I saw, or when I discovered that I had this little eraser thingy, because it comes in handy for how many mistakes I make, and I make a lot of mistakes. That's looking a bit better. It's a bit more like it. Being on camera always screws me over too, so that's part of it. I can't place all the blame on the camera, but I wanted to do it today. Just something different. I've been planning on this for some time now, and I decided, well, why not today? Sometimes people will get confused as to these dashes on the floor. That's just highlights, or a reflection, light reflecting, I suppose you could say. Light glistening off the floor, shadows, whatever. Really, it kind of shows that they have a clean floor. Alright, I think that's about how far we're gonna get with that panel. And look at it, you can see how hard it is to get these stupid comics out. Alright, so usually what I like to do is after I pencil one panel, I'll go right in, I'll letter it as soon as I pencil it, and then I'll start inking it. And then I'll think, oh, I'm done, but then I'll still have more panels to go. So I'm going to try and go against my usual, what do you call it, scheme of things. Actually, this needs to, my ritual routine, there's the word routine. There. I'm slowly getting back into the kick of things of drawing. Like I said, I haven't drawn in quite a while except for one dog, and it wasn't even Casey. Turned out alright. So there's Farley from the comic For Better For Worse. I drew him to enter a contest, but also just for fun. And I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Next panel, so we got Casey, look at me, walking on my hind legs. She's shocked. Oh, she's not, that's not how dogs act. Unless they're extremely talented, then they need to go on America's Got Talent. So it's time to start acting like a real dog, but how I'd like for this action to happen. So we're gonna have Casey looking directly at us, create a different connection here between reader and character. Now, with looking directly at us, we know that she's really getting involved in something now. We'll want her eyes kind of scrunched downwards because we want a determined look here. She's looking right at us. I always try and have my eyes look the same, but it never happens. One's always different from the other. Now I'm not sure if I want her smiling in this one either. This one I want her smiling, and this one I want her humiliated. We'll see why. But this one, also gonna set the nose slightly different, more towards the center where I put the eyes. There we go. I'm not even using my usual pencil for drawing this either. That's with the other ruler, but all I use is a graphite HB number 2 pencil. You can use really anything else, but I definitely want to keep it in the lighter HBs. And I'm trying to remember now how they go. I believe the higher the number for HB, the lighter it gets, and if it's not HB, the darker it gets. I do believe. I'm not remembering correctly. I really should. It's just earlier this year, the last time I told someone this. This thing is great. Oh, a bit too much. I don't even know where this came from. I recently moved and I just found it in a box with some art supplies. So I was like, alright, this is good. There we go. So if you go onto the website right now and look at any comic strip, whether it's from 2013 or 2017, every single one you see, even the one there on the home page, takes this much work and this long and this much discipline. And some comic artists, I only do this sometimes, but some do their strips daily. Just like this. There we go. Alright, I might come back to that one later. But, good for now. Some comic strips I put minimal background detail in, like for this panel here, but there are some that I put a lot of detail into. And for the purposes of video and time, I might not put a whole lot of detail into this one. Might throw in a picture frame. I usually like to do that to add in something to look at in the background. And usually it's just something. There, so I got a tree, some bushes, some foothills, and that's it. And a lot of this is going to get covered up with speech anyway. I like this one. This is going to come in a bit more in inking. But I like this one. I like this one. The background, the head, the body needs work. I think I'm going to bring it out like this and bring it down a little bit again. That can be done in inking as well. So basically penciling is you're just roughing in what's going to be in each panel. Sometimes I even do thumbnails just to get a feel of it. This one I have enough of an idea of what I want. But sometimes I'll do thumbnails, and all that is say it's a 3-panel, and I'll draw a very rough Casey here, and just like that, and then I'll write what I want whoever to say, and maybe their motion or maybe a reaction. That's all thumbnails is. 2-year-old work. Basically for humans, my head shape is generally the same. It's the facial features and the hair and stuff that differs them. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Only recently have I begun putting in eyebrows. There, so we know who this is now. After this is all drawn, I started with mistakes with the panel anyway, but that is the ruler's fault. But once I get this all figured out, and fix up all the mistakes and inking and whatnot, and erase the pencil work and see how it looks, I'll send it to my editor, and they will look at it, tell me if it's good. If it's not, they'll let me know, and I'll fix it. Either if it's something that needs to be added in or adjusted, then I'll ink it in. If it's a whole panel needs to be redone, I'll put another piece of paper over top of it, only not with lines, and I'll redraw it, and then I'll add it in Photoshop later. If it's something with the words, then I'll just delete them all in Photoshop and type them out. That's what happened with the most recent one. So there's one where it's Tanner wants to make his dad breakfast, and that's a whole issue. You'll notice that that is actually a handwritten font that I designed in the style of Tanner and Casey text. I went in and typed it all out, and the last panel was a completely different, completely different punchline. But my editor, editor in loose terms, said, "No, that's not good. This would be funnier." Same idea, still the same sort of joke, it just worded a little bit differently. So I went in with the new joke, and in Photoshop I replaced it, drew a new word balloon, sent it out for the web. Alright. There we are. Still looking good on the broadcast. Yes, we are. Now we want her smiling because she's built up some confidence back here. If you hear a noise in the background, that's just city noise. Here. Don't like that. For inking, I use a fine point Sharpie pen and a Studio gel pen. I used to draw with a medium point, but now I find that's too thick. If you look at 2013 strips, you'll see they're inked quite thick, even though there's just a couple from 2013. 2014 strips, you'll see they're inked quite thick. So now I do that differently. Gel pens, I just started using in 2015 for lettering, and now they've worked their way into the actual art, like for thin background lines. And I used to do bold words in the lettering with a brush, and I used to use the brush to ink book covers, but the brush has gone against me and ran out of ink, and I have yet to purchase a replacement. Ooh. You're great. You're getting all the grit with this video. Nothing is left out. No cover-ups. Sometimes I get lucky and I only have to draw something once. The most I've drawn something is